In this story, we have a teacher who is scheduled to be fired for her comments about Charlie Kirk posted on the internet. But in a twist, we haven't seen a lot of this. This teacher is able to get some temporary relief from the courts because a judge rules in favor for this teacher who's facing dismissal. Now, it's temporary, I might add. Let's get into this. A federal judge has issued a temporary restraining order preventing the Creston School District with moving forward on plans to fire a teacher for her social media comment regarding the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. In the order Monday, District Judge Rebecca Goodgame Ebinger, that's an interesting name, granted Creston English teacher Melissa Crook's motion for the temporary restraining order and deferred her request for a preliminary injunction until after a court hearing that is currently planned for October 31st. Last month, according to court documents, Crook was informed she was potentially facing termination for a media comment regarding Charlie Kirk. She then sued the district in federal court, alleging that her First Amendment rights were violated and cited a series of pro-Republican posts by Superintendent Darren Stender and School Board President Don G. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting because I think we have it. Well, let's just look at what she said, because the standard is don't cause a disruption of school. Don't cause a disruption of school. It's not necessarily, well, although many want to see it this way, it's not necessarily about your freedom of speech. It's about, is what you're doing in your free time, is that causing a disruption of school? That's what it's about. Now let's look into this. Look what she did. Well, let's go step up a little bit here. She was claiming her First Amendment rights have been violated. She's seeking an injunction, which she did get, to block her dismissal from school. In her lawsuit, Crook has taught English since 22, alleges she has been subject to retaliation, is now threatened with termination of her continuing teaching contract because of a private off-duty comment on Facebook. Now, again, I know a lot of people want to hide behind that, but like in a lot of ways, us as educators, we are public figures. We're public figures, and so it's hard to have a private life when it comes to certain portions of our life. Now, we're not, the paparazzi isn't following us around, taking pictures of us, asking us to sign autographs. It's not like that, but let's look at what she did. Crook's September 10th comment was made in response to a family member's Facebook post about the shooting death of Kirk, conservative political activist. The lawsuit states that at her home on her personal time and using her personal Facebook account, the teacher wrote, "He is a terrible human being. Terrible. I do not wish death on anyone, but him not being here is a blessing." Now that is, that's mild compared to some of the other ones that we have seen. But at the end of the day, you're saying there's some good there. It's a positive that this person was murdered. That's, at the end of the day, that's what you're saying, and that just is never ever going to land well when you're a teacher, when you're a public servant. You're serving your community. I mean, you just, and what are you saying about the people who support Charlie Kirk? Do you wish the same for them? Oh man, I just, The lawsuit also says the next morning, after seeing how her comment was received, see, and that's the thing, like we're not perfect. We're human beings, right? We're human beings. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. But the mistakes for us is, gosh darn it, I should not have put that in that lesson plan. That was, whew, I don't know where my head was. That I should have known that wasn't going to work. Or I did my best putting this lesson plan together. That did not work at all. Oof, I'm going to have to adjust that. Not something like this. Look at this. It says, after seeing how her comment was received. Oh, really? Crook apologized, stating that she did not wish anyone death. Well, you know what? That's the thing about when you put your words out there, when you put that hot take out there, when you don't wait, when you don't just pause, consider, count the costs, check yourself. What am I feeling right now? Am I feeling amped up? Am I feeling emotional? Am I feeling really passionate? Am I feeling like I don't know, troll the other side who disagrees with me regarding politics by just putting my hot take out there? Oh, there you go. Take that. He was a terrible human being, and it's a blessing that he's not here. If that's what you're feeling, then you got to just, I'm gonna stay away from from Facebook. I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. You see, that's self control. That's self control. And over at my other channel, Teachers Are Leaders, I remind teachers of that. You are a leader, and the first person you need to lead is yourself. And so when it comes to situations like this is a test of your leadership. This is a time to step away from Facebook and say, no, I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage. Because I have students who agree with Charlie Kirk, possibly even parents who agree with Charlie Kirk. And I don't want to create a combative situation at my place of employment over politics. My job is to help kids learn and grow, and I want to keep that job, and I want to continue doing that. So I'm not going to muddy the waters and poison the well by firing off a comment that states my feelings about Charlie Kirk. That could easily be interpreted as, I'm so glad this guy is no longer with us. And I'm sure Miss Crook is very, very intelligent, but she just did not think here after seeing how her comment was received. So that's the comment. It's pretty mild compared to some of the other ones. But when you throw this in, this I find interesting. So she's saying, wait a second, I'm being punished for my comments that are that I guess, and as I'm seeing this, she's her argument that her comments about Kirk are pro Democrat. Okay, now there's a little bit more to it than just pro Democrat. Like we're talking about, gosh, I'm glad that person's gone. So she's pointing to some pro-Republican posts that are made by the superintendent and the school board president. Now that's interesting, and we're going to be following this to see what the courts say. But I mean, we have a judge here who issued an order, prevented the district school board from conducting Ms. Crook's employment hearing, which was scheduled for Tuesday, and from taking any adverse employment actions against Crook due to her Facebook comments. In her ruling, Ebinger, this is the judge, found that Crook is likely to succeed in showing Stender took adverse action against her in response to exercise of her First Amendment rights, and that she is likely to succeed on the merits of a First Amendment claim as to Stender. Ebinger also concluded that Crook spoke as a citizen on the matter of public concern when posting her Facebook comment, and that Crook did not purport to speak as an employee of the Creston Community School District. Now that's interesting because it's already been established when it comes to disruption of school. That part has already been established. Now let's look. Did she cause a disruption of school? Let's check it out. In the lawsuit, Crook alleges she was called into an investigatory meeting on September 11th and placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of a district investigation, which concluded on the 15th before Superintendent Stender delivered a formal notice recommending her termination on September 25th. The lawsuit alleges the notice claimed that her Facebook comment had resulted in threats to safety of students and staff, causing a significant and adverse impact on district operations and the educational process. That is part of the cost. It's, if you have a thought, something that you want to get out there as it relates to politics, you want to troll the other side who doesn't agree with you, you've got to add this to your calculus. Certainly, you're on your own time, private device, whatever. You think that's fine, but here's the other side of it that many they don't add this to their calculation and consider this. Threats to safety of students and staff, causing a significant and adverse impact on district operations and the educational process. That's disruption of school activity. That's what they're saying right there. With Stender reporting over 111 emails and 140 telephone calls, the majority asking for Crook's firing or to have children removed from her classroom. And that's the other thing right there. As a leader, you have to think about, how is this going to go over with the students in my classroom, with the parents of the students in my classroom. They may even agree with her politically, but I mean, when you just put these words out there, he's a terrible human being. The man just died. I do not wish death on anyone. But him not being here is a blessing. It's hard not to read that one. It's hard not to read that as, gosh, I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad he's dead. And so one can only speculate how Miss Crook feels about people who agreed with Charlie Kirk. But this one is interesting. We'll see. I mean, she's thrown in comments, public comments made by the superintendent and the school board president that are, you can perceive them as these are political comments, pro-Republican, just because she happens to be a Democrat. Why should she be punished for her speech? So we'll continue to follow this, and I'm really interested to see those updates, and I'll bring them to you as they come out. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next update.